Awesome. So we're doing a live draft update here. Just want to go over some picks here. I want to talk about the Houston Texans and the dumb move they made. I don't understand why the Texans traded up for. They pretty much gave up the house. They gave up the house, but they traded up for C.J. Stroud. I don't think that's a good. I don't think it's a good pick. Good pick. When was the last time an Ohio State quarterback did anything in the NFL? Don't worry, I'll wait. And if you talk about Justin Fields is maybe the only great hope, but CJ Stroud is not good. And I've been telling you guys this. Why draft CJ Stroud? This is a horrible pick. I don't understand why the Houston Texans should have just, unless they're using him for trade bait. But if you're looking to build a future around CJ Stroud, that's a waste of time. The Panthers did right by drafting Bryce Young. I don't see anything wrong with that. Bryce Young is a future quarterback. He's a future in this as a top quarterback in this league. But to trade up to get back-to-back picks and then draft CJ Stroud, I think you draft Will Anderson first and then you look at the quarterback in the later round. CJ Stroud is not a first-round pick, and CJ Stroud, Anthony Anderson, these are bad picks. The Colts got Anthony Richardson. What has he done this year? Somebody please tell me what Richardson has done this year. He hasn't done anything. He has the size. Don't and I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this out of spite. I'm saying this because these guys have not done anything and haven't played it well in a pro style or just a pro offense. They're running the ball. Most of their best plays come from running. So why would you draft a quarterback in a league where your quarterback's going to get easily banged up and they can't throw the ball? I mean, if anybody has watched the college football this year, you know good and well Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, they're not passers. And if you think that Will Levis is more like Josh Allen don't get me wrong, is exceptional talent, but he's surrounded by great talent. He's surrounded by great talent. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. He has pretty much essentially Gabe Davis can go somewhere else and be number one. So he's surrounded by exceptional talent. I just don't understand why you wasted time and pick Anthony Richardson. There have been a lot of bad picks, and I'm saying that because Bryce Young, of course, is a good pick, but CJ Stroud number 2, horrible pick. Anthony Richardson number 4. Like what did the Colts have to do with him? Like he went number 4. This guy literally is like he was 53% accuracy rate. I think they're just excited about his size, but what has he done? Really, what has Richardson done other than just have good pro day highlights? I like the Devin Witherspoon pick. I think it's a little bit high for a corner. I like the Devin Henderson pick. I think that he's going to, thank you, honey, for watching my video and liking it. Appreciate it. That's the only person I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. I'm really talking to my wife. He's the only person on here. Right? Paris Johnson Jr. I think you can't go wrong when you go O tackle. You can't go wrong when you go D tackle. Tyree Wilson, I think it's another good pick as well too. Playing the Big 12, making waves. I think it's a little bit high for running back. Bijan Robinson, I don't think he was the best running back in college football. Especially as how they use the running backs now is the question is Bijan Robinson going to make a huge difference in Atlanta? I don't think so. They're comparing him to Saquon Barkley. He's a little bit more of a downhill runner than Saquon Barkley, left side to side. Bijan's an in between the tackles guy. I think if I look at Bijan Robinson, I'm looking somebody like more or less like an early Fred Taylor. Somebody who's gonna get you the tough yards. Somebody who's gonna catch the ball at the backfield. You can spread him out. You can do a lot of things with him, but I think that his game is going to have to expand for him to have durability and last longer than the NFL. Remember, they don't pay running backs. Unless you're Derrick Henry and you're just a complete dog, they're not going to pay you. So I think that was a little bit high for a running back. But the Falcons thought I needed a running back. I love the Philadelphia pick. We go out, we get Jalen Carter. With everything that's going on, sometimes when guys have bad moments in the in college, sometimes they do well, like Tyreek Hill. What's the guy's name? Joe Mixon. they have good careers. They know better. Now some of these guys don't know any better, but they know better. His NFL comparison is Fletcher Cox, and he's playing with Fletcher Cox on a 1-year deal. Philadelphia, we had insurmountable amount. Now we had just a lot of depth. Now we have a lot of depth. We had a lot of versatility to our D line, and not only that, Jalen Collar's playing with Jordan Davis, who we played with at Georgia in college. I like the pick. I think he'll be great. I like what Chicago did as well too. I don't think Chicago was going to gun up and pick a D tackle unless they were using it for trade bait. But the idea of them going O tackle, I think, is good, and get 2 picks from it, I think, is good. I think how we made this trade mainly because he's comfortable with the roster that we currently have, and with the Eagles. Sorry, it's getting a little bit loud. Let me turn this down so YouTube doesn't block me. But I think how we realize, hey, look, we have a lot of picks and whatnot. They can make up picks during the season. They have a roster that's almost set. And it's not necessarily about, developing guys right now. It's more or less how we provide depth to a Super Bowl made ready roster that made it to the Super Bowl last year that can do it again this year. Yes, I'm early prediction. I feel like we're going to have an Eagles-Ravens Super Bowl. It's wishful thinking, but I won't be mad if that happened, and I won't be surprised if that happened, much like you all. So I like the fact that Chicago gets more picks, probably get some more interior linemen, some people that can block, some depth that can block for Justin Fields. You're looking at a guy who was position ranked number 4 in the draft. They probably fit Chicago's scheme, and I personally like the pick. And as I go on to say that, the Tennessee Titans just selected Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. He was number 1 position ranked guy. Now I've been watching this guy a little bit. He was kind of undersold playing in the Big Ten, playing at Northwestern. But you're looking at a guy who can play multiple positions. But him playing, I expect him to come in and make immediate impact at tackle. The difference between playing a tackle in the NFL is depending if he plays left or right tackle, is to one of the most important positions on the football field, aside from the quarterback. Well, I can't say most important positions. This is a guy who protects the NFL's backs, the quarterback's backside or front side. But just him being reliable and being so versatile, him being able to switch around, play multiple positions. I wouldn't be surprised if if him getting in with Tennessee, and they put him at guard. They put him at left or right guard to move him around to get him some reps early. Guys go down in this league. So, having a tackle like Peter, who's versatile, but also who's a smart player, I think this will allow them to kind of block and just provide some running lanes for Derrick Henry. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem in Tennessee is a quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee in later rounds, they do draft a quarterback. But right now, I don't see it as Tennessee drafting a quarterback because they have Malik Hillis. I think Malik Hillis is trash. I think that he can't read defenses. You can't rely solely on your legs and make him this. You have to be a passer in this league. Defenses and offensive coordinators are too smart. They game plan all offseason to stop you. So I think that's why I'm not sold on the Will Anderson. And people may look at me and say, "Oh, Seth, you're a buffoon or an idiot because of C.J. Stroud." Here's what I say to you. C.J. Stroud played, first of all, in the Big Ten. Just to be honest with you, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady played a long time ago, and Tom Brady walked into an amazing situation. But Big Ten quarterbacks, as of late, you look at it. Old Kirk Cousins, the league floater, he's fooling and robbing every team that he goes through. But the Big Ten, I don't think Ohio State has quarterbacks that play exceptionally well, and especially in the league. I don't think it transitions over. C.J. Stroud was not necessarily throwing in tight spots, tight zones. He was throwing to wide open receivers. Ohio State, you can argue, has had the best receiving core over the past 2-3 years. You look at Garrett Williams, you look at you look at Chris Olave, you look at Smith and Jigma, who's about to go this year. You're playing one-on-one football, one-on-one football with one-on-one football with guys, and it's pitch and catch. He doesn't have to make that tough. It's easier to make a one-on-one on the spot throw as opposed to throwing, a curl route in cover 2, cover 9, cover 3. It's that tough. So I think that we have to understand when I grade and look at CJ Stroud, I'm not necessarily looking at a player who, he has a big arm, etc. I'm looking at a guy, how well does he make plays, with his mind as opposed to just his arm. This could simply be another Dwayne Haskins, JT Barrett, Cardell Jones, Braxton Miller, right? Tyrell Pryor, all the Ohio State quarterbacks that have been unsuccessful in the NFL at the quarterback position. We can easily say that he's another one of them because a lot of times they're playing in man coverage. Now, this next pick, I love it. You got Jamar Gibbs. I love this guy. They compare him. I don't know why Matt Miller compared him to Tony Pollard. This is a guy who's like Alvin Kamara. He's slippery. He has an breakaway speed. He can run in between the tackles. He can catch the ball at the backfield. This is a guy that has complete versatility. Not only that, he's a downhill runner. In the NFL, the most successful runners have longevity in this league are downhill runners. Can you get me? And I guess you could say Tony Pollard, but he's a little more versatile than Tony Pollard. But can you get me 3 or 4 yards when I need it? Right? And with them, the Detroit Lions letting Jamal Williams go, they had to replace him. Now you have a pretty elite backfield with, I think, 2 guys that have somewhat of a similar skill set. A lot of teams like to go power versus power and then have a finesse guy. But now you have 2 guys who I personally feel, have a similar skill set. You have, Jamar Gibbs and DeAndre Swift. These are two guys that are definitely going to allow you. I don't know who that was kissing Jameer Gibbs. I need to look that up because let me see. That is let me see his mother. I don't know who that person was. That was not Jameer Gibbs' mom. I don't know who that was. That was I need who was that? Okay, because that was not his mother. I don't know who that was. I don't know if that was his agent or whatever, but that was not his mother. I mean, I may need to go Twitter on this one and see who that was. Kissing Jameer Gibbs. I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can on this situation, but I don't know who that was kissing Jameer Gibbs. Hopefully, Twitter will allow me to find out. I'm sure they're talking about it right now. But yeah, I don't know who that was. Let me look this up real quick. Let me see. Because Twitter. Let me see. Yes, Gibbs jumps all the receivers. There's really no elite receivers in this draft. Like who's a tough? Who would you say is a tough receiver in this draft? Well, when I go to best available, and I go to receivers, I mean the best receiver in football didn't come out this year. That's Marvin Harrison Jr. But when I go best receivers in the draft, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, he's a Ohio State quarterback, right? Zay Flowers. I've talked and had a lot about Zay Flowers. I think he's a guy who was just above average in the ACC. For a guy who because Jordan Addison destroyed and dominated his conference in Pittsburgh before he came back over. But he didn't have a 1,000-yard season. He's a big play guy with average. He's above average speed. For a guy who spreads the field. I do like the way he adjusts the ball. He adjusts the ball well in and catching the ball. When the ball's in the air. But when it comes down to it, I don't think that Zay is like this phenomenal player that people have to particularly game plan for. He doesn't run. I haven't seen him run a route tree. Most of his highlights are deep balls. He's not a big possession guy. So, yeah, I think the best receiver in the draft, hands down, I think is still did Keon Butte I think Keyshawn Butte is going to be a steal in the draft from LSU. And I think that the best receiver in the draft is Jordan Addison. Looking at a guy who can run the route tree. Even though he's 5'11", 173, he's phenomenal. They're going to put some weight on him when he gets to the league. But a possession guy who can run the route tree. He is a polished route runner. If I had to compare him, they have Keenan Allen. I think he's a little bit fat. He's a faster than Keenan Allen. If I had to compare Jordan Addison to anybody, I think I would compare him to maybe a CeeDee Lamb without the yak. Maybe compare him to, this is a stretch. I think a bigger Marvin Harrison, but not a better route runner than Marvin Harrison. And understand this. He's just getting in the league. But he is a polished route runner. He understands the game. He understands how defense move. He did see double teams when he was at Pittsburgh. He played when he went to USC. He played alongside some dogs. He got injured as well. He played alongside some dogs, so we didn't really get to see his route creativity that he did at Pittsburgh. But there's a reason why he won best receiver in college football. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why. So best available receivers, I don't think. And I also think Nathaniel, a.k.a. Tank Bell from Houston, he is going to be a steal in the draft. This guy is undersized receiver, 5'8", 165, but he can do it all. He can run the route tree. He's a possession receiver. He literally destroyed his conference. He has breakaway speed. He reaches his speed fast. So, a guy who has top speed better than most people, but doesn't have, acceleration like that. They're difference makers. Let's say who just okay, I like this pick. So Green Bay Packers, they defense. They get Lucas Van Ness. They got this pick from the Jets, but I think you can't go wrong with interior linemen. Whether it's on the defensive side or offensive side, you can't go wrong with interior linemen. And I think that's what they're doing right here. They're Lucas Van Ness, I think, is a good pick. Position ranked number 2. I think it's a little bit high for him personally, but like I said, having rotational players on defensive line is a lot better than having one big guy. You see what's happening to Chase Young. The Commanders are not picking up his fifth year option, so he's gonna be a free agent next year. So this guy, he's basically paying for his stake. He's got to ball out this year, else no one's gonna pick him up. So I personally think that you can go wrong with interior lineman Lucas Van Ness. A good pick for Iowa. I want to see what the Patriots are going to get. I don't think they go quarterback. But the Patriots, it's not of Bill Belichick. It's not a Bill Belichick to draft receivers in the first round. Remember, I think the last time they did that, they did, who was the guy who couldn't catch a pass? I don't know what, but they shipped him away real quick. So the Patriots are trading their pick to the Steelers. Now the Steelers, Steelers have the number 17 pick. The Steelers may see somebody they want. Now, we know the Steelers are on lock in the receiving core. They know they're on lock with the receiving core. They got a quarterback. Do they go defense here? That's the question. Do they go defense? Oh no, they didn't even trade. Hold on. Who did they trade? So they didn't even trade their 12th, 17th pick. Wow, they must have traded more picks. So this may be a. Okay, they did swap picks. So the Patriots and the Steelers swap picks. I gotta see what they gave up for it. Did they swap picks? I'm pretty sure, Bill Belichick's all about getting second round guys, third round guys. He'll go to TJ Maxx and get a guy, throw him in there, and they'll be making a big catch in the Super Bowl. So Belichick is known to draft deep in the deep rounds. I mean, he got Brady late, right? He got Gronk late. Did he get Gronk late? Let me check to see. All right, look at me. Gronkowski. I think I'm pretty sure he got Gronk late. Yeah, he got Gronk in. Gronk ran a 4.68. Yeah, second round, 4 second pick. Um, Edelman, and then you know me wrong. Belichick will trade for a guy if he wants a guy. The question is, who the Steelers want? Wide receiver doesn't make sense. You got to go defense if you're the Steelers. You got to go defense. I personally, you got to get Joe Hayden just retired, so if they get brought, so are they going offensive tackle? Protect Riddler. I respect that. If they, I don't not Riddler, but what's his guy's name? What's the guy's name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Pickett. Yeah, protect Pickett out. I like it. I like it. Like I said, interior D lineman. You can't go wrong with drafting them. They don't need a receiver. You have the receivers you can go to. Don't need a receiver. The Steelers, that's a waste. That's a waste of a pick, personally, in my opinion. When you just got Pickens, you got Pickens, you got what's the guy's name? Deontay Robinson. Of course, I should know Deontay Robinson. You got Deontay Robinson. So I don't think that you go and you get a receiver when you have two receivers that you can fill in, a guy who stretches the field and a guy who can win one-on-one, but also you have a guy who can make catches, big catches and find spots in the zone. So yeah, I don't think you go out and you waste a pick. Plus you got running back Najee Harris. Your offense is pretty much set. So you don't need to do anything too crazy as far as getting a getting another receiver. I know it's those nations like, oh, I want a receiver. You don't need that, right? You have firepower, but you need to block with that firepower. So let's see who the Steelers get up and pick. Steelers are going to pick. Oh,